I understand that, but I think that Russia doesn't want to stop the war, period, right now. You know, first of all, they are making gains, no matter how small. So they see it as them winning the positional slow grind. Uh, the United States is disinterested in this war and have been for a while and will be for the next 3 years. The European Union doesn't seem to be, holding its weight nearly as much as it should probably, and people back there are getting tired of
Okay,
this.
wait. Here's a question. And what is your
Yeah.
prediction in terms of Putin's view of this plan versus Zelensky? Do you think that Putin is going to say, "I don't want to accept this. This is fucked," and Zelensky going to say, "We really want to accept this"? How do you think both leaders are going to react to this plan, or have reacted to
I
this plan?
think uh, Putin doesn't like this plan. I think Zelensky obviously doesn't like this plan, but Zelensky have sent his diplomats to negotiate this plan because he's not dumb. And if he walks away right now, he's only going to piss off Trump even more. But if he tries to pull this deal at least somewhat in Ukrainian favor, which is how peace deals are signed and worked on and developed, uh, then he will give the opportunity for Putin to walk away and piss off Trump.
Okay, I don't know what Putin pissing off Trump does, since it seems like Trump is never mad at Putin for more than 3 days anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Genuinely, it doesn't really matter. But honestly, the most 4D chess move Zelensky can do right now is just agree to the deal as it is and see if this was, a bluff. If Russian side actually doesn't agree to it, to their own deal.
Okay, I guess I don't. Okay, you said you wanted to challenge my position on this. Is the challenge just
Kind
that,
of.
like, this isn't the maximalist Russian position?
Not only not maximalist position for Russia, but Russia is much less likely to agree to it than Ukraine right now.
Interesting.
Like if
Okay,
Ukraine
I don't know how
agrees to it,
Yeah.
Ukraine if Ukraine agrees to it, Ukraine has a bright future. They can actually, rebuild. Yes, they lose some land. Land isn't important for any side in this war,
Why do you think
but
that?
well,
I think
I'm
land
just
might not be important. I
vibing it.
understand what you're saying. Land might not be important
Yeah.
necessarily, maybe for the Russian side, because what they really wanted was regime change. But I feel like land is fairly important to the Ukraine side because it's their country.
Yes, that's true, and it's more important. But if given the opportunity to trade that land for European reintegration, redevelopment, a bright future again, I think they would probably make that trade.
We say a bright future, but like, what is? I don't know if I'm Ukrainian. I don't even know if I feel like I'm guaranteed to not get invaded again.
Yeah, I mean, if the guarantees hold, if there are some guarantees, first of all, and if they hold, if there is no further invasion, if this Ukraine is left, to prosper and rebuild,
Why? Wait,
I
wait.
think that
Why would what possible guarantee, aside from literally like a U.S. security guarantee, which the United States is never doing because Trump's a pussy? What
I
possible?
think part of the deal was a U.S. guarantee, right?
I don't know what the. I would have to look at what the. I'd have to look at the wording of the guarantee. But if I was
Yeah,
Ukraine, I would never. A U.S. guarantee means fuck all to me, right? The U.S. has already broken. It feels like several guarantees to other people. So like I don't know what, including to Ukraine, arguably. So I don't know what that guarantee
kinda,
looks like.
yeah. I mean, sure, but in a perfect world, this wouldn't be a big deal. That's my thesis.
Okay. Well, I think it would probably be more interesting to see a deal that was negotiated with real U.S. negotiators, with Ukrainian and even Russian negotiators present. I don't know why a deal that was created by two Russians and then backdoored into the White House through a Russian stooge slash retard is ever a deal that I would just assume is going to be good for Ukraine. I would imagine that these are always going to be representing Russian interests more than Ukrainian interests. And there is a fantasy world where this is a quote unquote good deal for Ukraine. but I would just never expect that to be the way that this plays out. There are too many ways that I imagine Russia could fuck with this, even if both sides accepted. The only difference is now Russia's literally solidified their gains in the form of a treaty that Ukraine has to respect, and now it's just like everything about it just seems pretty bad to me.
Sure, I kind of agree with you, but right now the deal is, the deal is on the table, and right now it's being worked on. So the Ukrainian side can actually give their feedback on it. They can strike some things out. They can amend some things. They can present their own version of it. So right now, let's get rid of Witkov. Right now, who Marco Rubio? I think Marco Rubio is working on it, and Marco Rubio is not Witkov. Let's agree there.
I agree with that, but if they are actually quote unquote working on it, then whatever ends up coming out of this is going to be significantly different than what it looks like now, which I imagine Russia could use as like an excuse to just walk away from it. So,
Yeah,
then it'll just be another thing that
the bad
nothing
thing.
comes out of.